Off with RevSportz. Today, we discuss about the upcoming series decider T20I between India and Australia women, the Indian team composition for the Afghanistan series, Varun Tomar and Isha Singh securing Olympic quotas, and will also build up to the Asian Cup football. I am Gargi Raut, and joining me today for this show are Trisha Ghoshal, Ishan Shahane, Kanan, and Rohan Chaudhary. One dominating win and one massive loss later, India is at crossroads. It's do or die in this game, and it's going to be tonight. And more than winning or losing, I think this series is about sending a message. After that ODI loss, it's important not to lose this game. Trisha, what are your thoughts?
Absolutely. I think after the 3-0 whitewash in ODIs, um, it would be important. And in fact, I have been repeating this. I think it's not only about the ODI loss, it is also about the fact that we have lost the T20I series against England as well. So to sort of put out a statement that we are ready. It's not like we are not ready as a side, and maybe if we improve certain areas we can beat the better teams of the cricketing world. I think it is important that in a home series we should beat Australia, especially because we were 1-0 up, so kind of had a psychological advantage over them. Um and even Australia, if you honestly look at it, they aren't playing their best game. So I think this is the best time to beat them and get the series and kind of instill confidence in those 42,000 people who had turned up in DY Patil the other day. So to increase that number, we have to continue and keep performing.
Ishan, the Indian batting lineup was really struggling in the second T20I, especially in the power play. Assuming that the pitch will be as slow as the second T20I, what changes do you think India should make in their batting strategy, Ishan?
To be honest, Gagi, I think there's no need for any changes because this is the same batting unit that did really well in that first game as well. So what happened in that second game was it's just that they had a really bad day out. So that happens at times, and changes when you're playing a decider game is not needed because you don't want to reshuffle the batting lineup too much when you're playing a series decider. If you're going to make a lot of changes, then you've got to make those changes which the team really believes will suit that batting lineup. Otherwise, I don't think changes should be made. It's just about instilling that belief in your 11 and telling yourself that you're worth it and you can go on and win this game. It's going to be a tough game because Australia are known to come back really, really hard, and that's what we saw in that second T20 as well. But if you ask me about changes in the batting lineup, no changes so far. But just go out there and play free cricket. They did that so well in the first game. I think the second game they got bogged down with the pressure of batting first. Now that shouldn't happen. This is all mindset when it comes to eventually playing, right? The toss has an impact, but if you play good cricket, the toss won't really matter. So no changes for now, Gagi. Just go out there, play free cricket, and express yourselves.
And Kanan, there's been so much done for the development of women's cricket. Do you think losses like these could leave a sort of negative impact?
First thing first, I think Ishan was talking about don't make changes. My first point, a quick one, is that I want the captain to score. I want Harmanpreet to score. I mean, if she's going to lead by example and set the highest benchmark, she's not doing it. She's not performing. I mean, I'm remembering Harman for what she did in Bangladesh. A bad behavior, get a couple of match bans. She has to prove. There's so much riding on her. These girls, ladies cannot complain about anything. You want two fantastic test matches, and from there you have to carry the momentum forward. It does not matter whether you're playing red ball cricket or white ball cricket, ODI format or the T20 format. You're playing at home, and competing against the Aussies is the hardest challenge. They are the toughest players, men, women, boys, girls, across any sport, not just cricket. They're extremely fierce, but you have the home advantage, and as Trisha was pointing out, so many spectators. It is not only spectators who are present or going to be present at the DY Patil, but there's so many people cheering, from studios, from home, from internet, desktop, social media. Trisha herself, a big fan. Not that I'm critical of the girls. I would love to see them grow, evolve, and there's nothing to crib about. Any sport, once you start delivering, that is the key. And when you don't deliver, there will be criticism. And that criticism is not personal. That's because You're playing for the country, you're playing for India. So just go out and do it. Good luck to the women.
Absolutely. And let's turn our attention to men's cricket. With the upcoming T20I series against Afghanistan, with the fairly young squad, the question that arises is how will the Indian playing 11 look like? With Rohit Sharma back in the team and having Gill and Ruturaj Gaikwad alongside, who makes the cut? Ishan.
Yes, Kagi, it's a really good mix, but I think they're going to go with Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill, simply because they want to play out a side which is most likely going to play that T20 World Cup. Ruturaj Gaikwad is a class act himself, but Shubman Gill is a notch better up till now, and he's obviously had more experience playing the T20 format and playing for India over the years. So these two up the order. But having said that, I think it's again going to be a very interesting series because this series sets up that T20 World Cup. This series can actually provide India the platform to experiment. So maybe in the next few matches, we can expect someone like Gaikwad coming into play in place of Shubman Gill, because if you want to experiment, you better do it now. So you're set with your playing 11 when you go on to play that World Cup. So it's going to be a great series. Afghanistan is a really good side. We cannot take that away from them. And it's an opportunity for the youngsters once again to prove themselves. I think there are a lot of youngsters who would want to go out there, who would want to make a name for themselves. And a series like this provides that sort of platform. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch, and it's going to be really exciting.
And with Ishan Kishan and Jitesh Sharma in the squad, who do you think will find their way into the team, Trisha?
I think Jitesh Sharma will be doing the finishing role, and I'm wondering who will be playing at number 4. Maybe we can see a little bit of experimentation with Ishan Kishan also, because Gargi, this is the last series, at least for now, the last series before the T20 I World Cup. So we might see a lot of changes in this 3 T20Is, because there are a lot of permutation combinations that need to be checked before we go and settle on a squad in the T20I World Cup. But what will be interesting to see, and to be honest, I think I also want to see, is where does Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli go from here on? Like, what happens if they do well? What happens if they don't do well? And what happens if one of them does well? So there are a lot of what ifs around these two legends. I know a lot of people might find this very weird that we are sitting and questioning Rohit and Virat. We are not really questioning them, but there are a few question marks on the way when you look at the composition as a whole. And if you talk about Jitesh Sharma, I think the way Jitesh Sharma has played, or the potential that he has shown, I think he's a sure shot finisher. Your 5-6 go-to would be Jitesh Sharma for sure. And I think he has more chances than Ishan Kishan.
Absolutely. And moving on to the world of shooting, young Indian shooters Varun Tomar and Isha Singh secured 2 Olympic quota places for India with gold medals in the men's and women's 10-meter air pistol events at the Asian qualifiers. You've been watching their journey very closely. Kanan, talk about them.
Yeah, it's fantastic news in the new year. You're getting your 14th and 15th quota places for the Paris Olympics in July. This competition is in Jakarta, the same city which hosted the Asian Games 5 years ago. And at that time, if you talked about Indian shooting, it was Manu Bakar and Varun's cousin, Saurabh Chaudhary, who's now languishing in the woods. So the interesting bit is how Saurabh's cousin Varun's come out firing. And for those not knowing him, he's also part of the Indian Army, just like our own superstar Neeraj Chopra. He won 2 bronze medals last year in World Cups, the first in Bhopal and the second in Cairo. So it's not as if, he's a total newcomer. He's been practicing hard. He's been training hard. Yeah, because I saw the final today and I saw him speak after, words, to the ISSF TV. And obviously, he is confident, but he's a bit shy. His English is not perfect, but that doesn't matter. When you go out there, the only language which matters is shooting, and that he does pretty well. And he did it pretty well. Coming to Isha, I think in this, we are 5 of us in this window. Trisha, Rohan, and myself, all of us were lucky to watch Isha in Hangzhou, China at the Asian Games. And I think Isha has got a fantastic temperament. And I was speaking to Abhinav Bindra today. He's the mentor now for the Indian shooting team. and he's dealing with the rifle and pistol boys and girls. So he said temperament wise, she's fantastic. And even when I think Isha interviewed, Rohan was there. We all did interviews. What stood out was Isha's, she's so strong. She's full of spunk and she's got high energy. And on the big stage like this, where you're winning a quota, there were two more Indian girls also rubbing shoulders with her. And to inch ahead of them and win the quota place, it's fantastic. I think it's very reminiscent of what we've seen from Manu Bhaker in the past. So you're going to have Manu Bhaker possibly, in the 25-meter squad sports pistol in Paris. But let's not forget this is just winning the quota. The entire selection policy has been changed, and they're going to have two trials in 24, one in Delhi and one in Bhopal. There we will get to see the real metal and the temperament from all these shooters, because not only those who won quota places, but in addition, those who are among the top 4, 5, how they do in the two trials, how these scores are balanced out, the bonus points, all that will come into play when the final squad is picked for Paris. But right now, on Jan 8th, 2024, the second week of the new year, you're winning two quota places. That's good. And who knows, on the next day, Tuesday, we could have a few more quota places as well. I'm really very, very happy about it.
Trisha, talk about the two youngsters.
I think Isha, as Kanan sir rightly said, that we were lucky enough to witness Isha, and the first word that comes to my mind when we talk about Isha is calm. She's absolutely calm under pressure. Of course, her father in the stands is not calm; he is completely tense. But you know what?
Others are never calm.
Yes, exactly. Fathers can never be calm.
Never
Of
should
course.
be.
But with Isha there is this whole sense of, because I remember having spoken to her after her Asian Games, and I asked her, how are you so calm under pressure? She said, I mean, I have practiced to be here. This is what I want to do, this is what I enjoy doing. So of course Rohan can also say he was there for the shooting too.
Yeah.
And Varun Tomar, I have not seen him in Asian Games, but honestly, what I've realized after witnessing my first experience of seeing shooting live was Asian Games. I watched it on TV, but seeing it right there is completely different. And for you to have won the quota, for you to have uh, got that gold, you have to stay calm, you have to concentrate at those very important junctures, because there's a huge difference between a 10.5 and a 10.6 if you shoot. So I think the level of concentration and focus that these two have is brilliant. And it's brilliant that we have got 14th and 15th quota, and as Kannan sir said, if we get a few more on Tuesday, then we don't mind.
Yeah, we've got the shotgun event also coming up very soon, where you have an oldie like Manavjit coming back. So maximum is 24. So I'm really upbeat about more quota places coming even in shotgun. And if that happens, this will be surpassing the number of shooters who went to the Tokyo Olympics held in 2021.
Yes, and moving on to Indian football. When it comes to Indian football, the Indian team is gearing up for the Asian Cup. Rohan is here to talk about it. Rohan, what are your thoughts? How is this challenge looking right now?
Yes, Dagi. So, right from the beginning, we have been talking so much on India and Australia. This tournament will also start off with India and Australia, just like how it was back in 2011. That Australia was too tough, or maybe we were not that good. It was a 4-0 defeat for us in the start of the campaign. But this time, the Indian team looks quite different, much more confident. We have been in regular touch with the coaching staff, and they are telling us that, yeah, this team won't, Australia won't find it too easy to go past this Indian team. Yes, we will miss some key players. We might not get the services of Sahar Abdul Samad. Yes, Samad was already not there for the Australia game, but he was supposed to come back for the other two matches. But we don't think he will be available for the entire tournament only. So his injury is serious. But other than that, we have spoken to coach and other coaching staff, I think that the positive that we can find out that the coaching staff doesn't really fear that the players are missing. They are confident that the existing players will deliver, because uh, this was a big problem when it came to Indian football 8 or 10 years back. The bench was not that strong. Right now, the bench is strong, so we do have a lot of replacements. When it comes to the other teams, Australia, for example, the opening game, there are a lot of players who are the regular players of the European clubs. If you say uh, someone like Suter, so he is a defender who plays in English Premier League, 6 feet 6 tall. So that uh, physicality might be a problem when it comes to Australia and India, because if you look into our players' average height, they are 5 feet 7 8 maybe, and when it comes to Australia, they are 6 feet 2 3 maybe average height. So that might
How
be a
tall
problem.
was Diego Maradona? Height really, does it really matter in football? You play
But
football, tell me
Diego
that.
Maradona's skill sets were so much higher.
Nothing matters when you have a skill set like Maradona. Height, place,
Uh,
which team,
then
where,
Maradona,
infrastructure.
Messi are not are not examples
Yeah,
to be given. They are
yeah, but
exceptions.
Rohan, let me quickly interrupt you. This football is
Yeah,
not really the bread and butter of the Aussies. The Grand Rules football is their main football, and the kind
yeah.
of crowd which they get for the Grand Rules football at the MCG crosses or surpasses what they get for even a cricket test match or an ODI. So, but they have adapted to this format also, because the Grand Rules, obviously, in September is total sellout. It's something like what happens at the Bowl in the USA.
Yeah.
So
Super Bowl,
that's
yeah.
how it is. So it is very interesting that on the Aussies have, virtually penetrated and permeated every sport. And if they're going to use their height advantage, I think now in Igor Stimac, we have a coach who's talking high, and he's also highly paid. I think it's about time to deliver, because we've all been cheering for Indian football, but we also want to see the team perform. Because what happened in the Asian Games, again, both of you were there, it was not great. So unless you perform in any sport, you can keep supporting them, you can keep cheering them. But delivering results, that is a very important factor, is what I feel. Well, Rohan, I don't play football like you, but I certainly do follow football.
But Asian Games will be a tough affair, because now none of the teams that we will be facing are quite easy teams. Australia, Syria, and Uzbekistan, they are top sides. The main focus for me, I think, is the World Cup qualifiers, which will happen in March against Afghanistan, and one win and a draw will put us
Afghanistan
through
here
to the.
also, huh? From cricket to football, also Afghanistan. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, somehow we are continuously facing the same sides, no?
But Australia, the one good thing about Australian football is that they might not be at the very top of the world, but they are a constant World Cup side. They have been playing World Cups
Definitely.
regularly,
Yeah.
so they are right there at the level that we can compete. Because if you see the World Cup match versus Australia and Argentina, they lost, but they pushed Argentina right at the 75th minute. So they are a tough side to beat. But and coming to the other two sides, Uzbekistan and Syria, Uzbekistan again a top side between 50 and 60 ranking, so almost 50 ranks above India. So the one possible chance is Syria, and Syria are also physicality of Syrian players are better than India. So, but I think Syria might be a possible chance to get a win, or maybe a win, but Australia and Uzbekistan are very tough sides to beat.
Yes, and Indian skipper Sunil Chhetri talked to RevSportz in an exclusive interview recently, and here's what he had to say about the challenge.
Beaten Kuwait in Kuwait, one of our great victories. If we do well against Afghanistan, if we do well against Kuwait at home, we can actually make it to the next round. So, two questions: Asian Cup and qualification into the next round. How confident will it be, and how important, obviously, is it for you as leader, captain, and player?
Yes, we have a decent chance. Yes, an away win against Kuwait was very important. And I will tell you, and it might sound a little bit strange, but we were really expecting that we could get a point against Qatar. We were really gung-ho about it. The fourth minute goal in the first half and the third minute goal in the second half killed us. Because when you're playing against a team of that stature and that talent, you can't give them goals like that. But a lot of positive also we took from that game. And we'll keep going. We genuinely want to go to the last stage of the World Cup qualifiers. That will give us a great opportunity to rub our shoulders with the best in Asia. The more we play against the Uzbek, the Australias, the UAE, the Qatar, the Japan, the Korea, the more answers we're going to get how much we're improving. And I think the way we played against Qatar, one of the things that we understood as a nation is we are improving. It is not that now you're going to see a team which just want to go and defend and just wish. We have an idea. A lot of players are improving. We have improved as a player, and collectively we are not scared. We know where we stand. We are very humble. We know we are amongst 14 to 18th in Asia in terms of level. We know we can take from 10 to 14 teams. We played well against Iraq, if you remember. The top 6 teams are still difficult. Playing against Qatar and Australia, Japan, Saudi, South Korea, Iran, the ones who play the World Cup. It's still difficult because the level is completely different. But we're really optimistic. And the only way we're going to improve is to play against these teams very often, quite often.
That's the question, because here in one of our last interviews, you mentioned to me that Muriada, it is not about playing teams which are lower ranked and winning. It is about playing teams which are higher ranked, because that's when you judge yourself, you measure yourself, you quantify the amount of improvement. Even if you lose, that's how you improve. You take that pain. Is that the way forward? And that's why the Asian Cup is so important.
Yeah. And fortunately, see, our last game was Kuwait away, which is a difficult game. Then Qatar, who are proper contenders for the World Cup. Then we got Australia, who are stalwarts in Asia. Uzbek is one of the most improved teams. That's not going to be easy. So I think these games give you a fair idea, and also it keeps you on your toes, And it will also tell us exactly how much we have improved, how much we have to improve more. It gives you a realistic mirror, which is very important. And without disrespecting the SAF region, we have played SAF Cup. We have done well. We have won it. But where we want to reach, we will not reach if we keep playing SAF nations. And this is with due respect to all SAF nations. Unless you play the Qatar, the UAE, the Palestine, the Lebanons, which is from 10 to 14 to 8, and then you start punching above your weight and start getting a game against Australia, Japan, South Korea. I mean, Japan is beating Germany. Japan is beating South American teams. Japan, I mean, the level, they are one of the biggest motivators for all us Asian teams. Japan and South Korea, of course, even Australia. But look at the players they have. Look how they play. Look at the players where they are playing. A Mitoma is making fun of EPL defenders. You know what I mean? A Son is one of the most prolific strikers in EPL. Kim signs for Bayern and playing week in, week out. 10, 15 years back, it wasn't the case. Look how much they've improved. So they are a real motivation for all of us Asian teams. The Japan, the South Korea, Iran, Australia, even Qatar is doing well. Uzbek is doing well. So we got to try and keep playing them every now and then. 1, to be motivated. Number 2, to see exactly where we are. And then you get answers.
Surya Kumar Yadav is suffering from a sports hernia and might miss a bit more cricket than fans expected. Here are all the details.
Team India's dynamic white ball batter Surya Kumar Yadav is facing a significant setback as he is set to miss the domestic Ranji season as well as the first few games of IPL 2024. It is learned Surya is suffering from a sports hernia. The dashing cricketer is likely to be sent to Germany by BCCI to undergo an operation. Sports hernia is quite common to sports persons. Great Sachin Tendulkar had this, and for the first several months, no one was able to identify what has happened. Eventually, he had to get it operated in Germany. KL Rahul too suffered from a similar sports hernia. He was also sent to Germany by the Indian Cricket Board for undergoing a surgery. Keeping in mind the forthcoming T20 World Cup 2024, Surya will be given ample time to recover fully. He is an integral member of the Indian T20I squad. Recently, Surya was also shortlisted for ICC Men's T20 Cricketer of the Year. Surya twisted his ankle during the third T20 International against South Africa in Johannesburg. He had hurt his ankle when he caught off balance while stopping a ball in the field. He was ruled out of action for 7 weeks, thereby missing the T20I series against Afghanistan at home. He was also handed the T20I captaincy in the series against the Proteas, as Hardik Pandya had not recovered from an ankle injury suffered during the 50-over World Cup. We at RevSportz wish Surya Kumar Yadav a speedy recovery.
Rohan has an important update from the world of football. Rohan, let us know.
Yeah, yesterday the Kalinga Super Cup, the final qualifiers happened. Interkashi qualified to the main rounds by defeating Rajasthan United 5-0. And today, East Bengal will be playing Hyderabad FC from 2 p.m. at the Kalinga Stadium, and from 7:30, Mohun Bagan Super Giants will be taking on Srinidhi Deccan. So the Super Cup is here, and it's a very important tournament in perspective of Indian football, because most of the players are there with the national team camp, but it's a very good opportunity for the teams, both I-League and ISL, to look into their bench strengths.
Thank you, Rohan, and thank you to everyone who has joined. That's it from us for this conversation. Join us every morning from Monday to Friday at 9 a.m. Till then, we'll leave you with Shubhayan exploring the beautiful Museumberg Beach.
Hi, this is Shubhayan Chakravarti for RevSportz right here from Cape Town. So all the question marks, all the dilemma around Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli have been solved. Both are part of the T20I squad that will face Afghanistan in a 3-match T20I series, and it will be interesting how these two legends of the game fare in this 3-match T20I series before taking on England in a 5-test series. But yes, cricket chats will continue, cricket discussions and debates will continue. But right now we are here in the Museumberg beach where it's hot water, and the speciality about this beach, this beautiful beach packed with pristine water, is that it's a hot spot for sharks. And we will show you a few things around this Museumberg tour, Museumberg beach. So hang around with us for this beautiful tour, and check out some of the beautiful visuals from the Museumberg beach right here from Cape Town.